Short excerpt from the chat with Yaski, 2023. Who designed Suzies? Back in Taygetan, but who? Sandcloak team? The same team of expert engineers at Antares shipyards, Tuleka, Temer. Does it have to do with Antarians? Why called Antares? The man who started the shipyard in Temer was an Antarian immigrant, but now it is only the name of the company or shipyard, which is 100% Taygetan now, and has been for a while, so it is only the name which is Antarian. Originally in English, July 2024. First, let me confirm some details mentioned by Yaski in the past about Super Suzies, and then we continue with questions from the public. Yaski once mentioned that there was a Suzie Mark 7 being developed. She said, "It will be a super fast, smaller and lighter version, and it is to be used as a super fast interceptor." You didn't mention Suzie 7 in your description though. I remembered about that variant after we finished last time. The thing is that it encountered a few problems, and as far as I know, its development was halted. Something to do with excessive dynamic pressure causing probably hull damage, because it's so small and the engine so big. The interesting thing about that one is that it is using a variant of the first engines in the Suzie class. But although the same, it has many upgrades that make it faster and more powerful than the one in the normal Suzies. But, as I said, it may be too much, because it might blow up. As far as I know, it's not out of the picture. There hasn't been much talk about it lately though, that's all. It should be less difficult to build than a Mk6. Are engineers pilots themselves? How many people work on these upgrades? Yes, they are pilots themselves, unlike what usually happens on Earth, where they are not. How many people? I don't know, but probably in the hundreds. But they don't pilot around Earth, no? Never have? The engineers? No, I doubt so. They only test the ships nearby, around M45. There are hundreds of them? Wow. With so many people, I would think it's difficult to come to agreements and decisions. They focus on parts of the ship, not on the entire ship. So they discuss pneumatic door servers and valves and not engine magnetic bearings, for example. Makes sense. Now, Yaski also once said this: all interstellar starships teleport. They don't travel. But the new Super Suzies can without being detected and without leaving a frequency wake as others do, making them very dangerous. It renders combat tactics such as space skipping obsolete, so they are quite classified and taken care of. End quote. Is that shareable with the public? That mechanism is so good that it can be shared, besides it is known. How that is achieved, not so. Okay, let's move on to the questions from the audience. I know you don't have much time, so let's try to cover as many of them as possible fast. Someone asks this long question: how do Suzies manage yaw, pitch, and roll axis? Since in space the ailerons are useless, they must have some sort of reaction control system, RCS, to provide thrust for attitude maneuvers. On a human space shuttle, they use gas exhaust, but that is consumable and ineffective on such an advanced ship as the Suzie. Are they using engine thrust diverted, such as on jump jet, Harrier, or F-35B? Or are there other mini propulsion systems? Of course, don't answer if it is classified. Good question. Suzies have control surfaces to help maneuver while flying atmosphere. But the ship's attitude, yaw, pitch and roll are achieved with several flow vector electromagnetic generators, of the kind known on Earth as gravity cancellers. They are found along the hull and wings, and they activate, deactivate and modulate flow vector, which translates in roll, yaw and pitch of the ship. These are controlled with the collective throttle and the joystick while flying manually, much like a helicopter. Thanks. I didn't understand much, but I'm sure those in the know will. Next question. How long does it take, on average, to master flying a Suzie, like from scratch? What does an aspiring Suzie pilot have to go through to even be allowed to fly one? Two answers. One, anyone can fly a ship like a Suzie, anyone, but using its artificial intelligence. Two, it takes years of practice to fly one manually, but I would say it is the same as the amount of time anyone takes to master flying a fighter jet, such as an F-18, with all what it means. Okay. Someone is asking what types of weapon systems they are outfitted with. Quad plasma cannon, nose-mounted, 2 at the rear spinal and ventral. Missiles, which use AI and zero point, stored internally. Sonic boom generators shockwave as defensive weapons. Some are equipped with human-built GAU-7, 7-barrel rotary kinetic gun, 30 cal, and a few other classified things, of course. Have you personally had to use any of them? I have used them all, yes. Wow. Around Earth or somewhere else? Off-planet, mostly during my dogfight with the other Suzie. You know which one, it's already published. Other times, I'd rather not say. Above Ukraine last time. Can't say more. Okay. Now this one. Can she dampen the electromagnetic hum from the plasma turbines, whisper mode? Do they dampen the engine sound when they come into the atmosphere? If they turn the hypothetical sound dampening off, does it sound like the air is tearing apart? A Suzie can dampen, go into quiet mode, yes, also invisible mode. But unlike what most people on Earth think, most ships do create a strong turbine noise associated with human-built aircraft. A ship can also fly with the electromagnetic flow generators only, those called gravity cancellers. So the sound would be similar to the human-built craft, yes, but usually much louder, but not air tearing apart. That as well, if the power is pushed up. That is seen in a space shuttle taking off, for example. Yes, same noise. Okay, now I have this question that may sound a bit smart-pantsy, but I don't mind questions like that if they pique my curiosity as well. You have only been in contact with Taygetan for 6 years, and in that time, Taygetan has already made or improved many new ship models. So, what have they done these last 850,000 years? I would wonder that as well. How come Suzie 1 was just designed so recently? What did the sand clock have before? Very simple, because there was not much activity for a very long time, as there was no need for developing more technology. not until the Federation and the Cabal started to become belligerent against Taygetan. The technology found on a scimitar class or a Suzie 1 can be seen as 3,000 years old, and only recently it was seen as needed to develop newer craft more suited for tasks around Earth. For example, that can be seen in the incorporation of kinetic Gatling guns at the nose of some Taygetan fighters, very much emulating Fairchild A-10 aircraft of Earth. Makes sense. Wow, okay. When did sand clock originate? It's thousands of years old. Perhaps that's why their tactics are antiquated. Okay. You said there was no need to develop newer ones until the Federation and the Cabal started to become belligerent against Taygetan. That had to be around the First, Second World War? Between 1933 and 1945. And what ships did the Sand Clock use before Suzies? Scimitar and Pulsar class fighter ships. Okay, thanks. Another question related to sound, perhaps already answered. When camouflaged as human aircraft, are there similar jet sounds? Yes, the sounds are very much the same way anyway, so no problem there passing off as a human aircraft. Something I forgot to mention last time. Important difference between Suzies. All models from the Mark I to the Mark IV use skids as landing gear. Models Mark V and Mark VI use wheels with tires. 8 at the back in 2 4-wheel buggies and 2 in front. Okay, thanks for adding that. Now this question. If one person can pilot a Suzie starfighter, why originally that ship was designed for 7 people? What should be their roles? Pilot, co-pilot, navigator, engineer, and 3 gunners. Multiple purpose gunners. Now it's only 1 or 2 people, that's all. The rest is automated. Pilot and navigator separately? So pilot doesn't navigate? All pilots navigate, but it's better to have a dedicated person. But with advanced AI, it is not needed. Only pilot and WSO, Weapons Systems Officer, as on any 2-seater fighter jet on Earth, such as an F-18F or an F-15E. Thank you. Does Mari fly her Suzie too? Hers is in the hangar, but she does not fly because of security reasons, her safety. Understood. How many star races have technology equal to or greater than Super Suzie? Everyone says theirs is superior, including us. I was just going to say that. That is probably the case. Yes, I would say us, the Engan, Solations, and the Urma have a similar level of technology. Okay. Someone asks, do Suzies fly by low? Above Earth, I guess. You mean fly NAP? Yes, they do. No clue. What's NAP? Nap of the Earth, hugging the ground. That's 60 feet AGL or less. Very low. AGL, altitude above ground level. Okay. Do you? I do, yes. Like when I go under bridges. Wow, insane, okay. Next question. Are their communication channels secure? If so, can you talk about how communication transmissions can be secured? Using Muon, yes, it's secured and encrypted. Now this. If the pilot falls asleep and is to hit something, will the ship correct the track itself? The AI comes in, yes, no problem. Also, if the pilot passes or blacks out. unlikely with the inertia dampeners. Thanks. Now I have this one. Athena says she pilots a combat ship of human origin. My question is, who provides the human ships, or do they have an agreement with any country? Yes, there are agreements. Yes, we have been provided with some aircraft when we were closer and with more communication with governments. But even so, there are agreements with the Federation that controls several nations. Okay, so if you want a certain plane, you go apply for it with the Federation? We can fly anywhere as long as we respect the laws and regulations of the countries we are flying above. We can go in deeper with human-built aircraft than with a Taygetan ship such as a Suzie, simply because they let us. But it gets dangerous, as it's a human-built aircraft, and we can get shot down like any other. Yet, we also have a few tricks to avoid that. Cool. Have Suzies fought with their human versions, if any? I do not understand which is the human version, sorry. Human aircraft? Yep, just humans. Yes, but not in open combat, as it is asymmetrical warfare and therefore illegal. Only teasing each other. Nice. A lot of unexpected, interesting answers. Someone asks about cabin fever. Do you ever get any if you are inside for a long time? Not usually, or not. I rarely go over 2 hours on human aircraft, and that's a lot. I am inside less than an hour each time, usually. Alright. Question about Dorkalel and his Suzie 3. What masculine details did he do to his ship? He changed the controls and placed some red ones, like the rest of his Mark III. They are also light titanium. And the ferocious cat was sprayed on the sides of the hull. The rare horizontal stabilizers were changed to red as well, and better sensor packs aerials were installed. Awesome. Okay, Tina, we covered all the questions I had written down. Thank you very much. You are welcome.
Hello my friends, surprise, this is Gosia here and the end of this video and at the end of the series about Suzie for now. It's been 3 videos about Suzie that were shared in this overall series of Interstellar life, and I'm very grateful to you, Tina, Athena, for providing your answers. Thank you very much to the audience for providing your questions. I myself sometimes, especially when it comes to subjects like these, am not able to come up with good technical questions, so thank you very much. Just to finish off, because it's not the end yet, I'm going to share with you a surprise section of the conversation that Tina had with Robert. It's going to be just her speaking back in 2022. And they were speaking about supposed contactees who supposedly have been taken on board ships and traveled somewhere outside. And I don't know exactly who they are referring to. I was not in that conversation. Robert is kind of complaining there about the non-emotionality of their experiences. They come and they supposedly were on board of ships, and their DNA seems to be intact, because it was said that in some way, although it depends on a lot of factors, also on the time that you are there outside of Earth, your DNA, you know, it activates in a way, your vision, your mind expands, and it touches you on all levels. So Robert is saying that he doesn't see any of that in those supposed contactees who supposedly were taken on board of ships. This is not speaking about anybody in particular. I was not even in the conversation. But what's important here is that Athena responds to this, and I think it finishes nicely the series about Suzies. what she says, even though what she says doesn't just relate to Susie type ships. It actually refers to huge ships. So keep that in mind. Thank you very much for sticking around. This series of Interstellar Life will continue. There's so many more episodes to come, but I'm going to take a break for now and we'll continue with other type videos. But enjoy these last words from Athena. Bye bye everybody, and thank you.
Originally in Spanish, 2022. Just a comment. In addition to everything you say about what happens when they leave, if they are taken for a ride on a ship, yes, everything you say happens. But something else happens too, something that gives those guys away. Simple. The impression of the experience of having boarded a ship is a lot. They arrive trembling and with their lives changed forever, just for having seen a ship up close. They don't show that euphoria that they will have, especially if they like those subjects. It's a huge shock to see one of these spacecraft up close. They don't even have to remember their past lives or know who they are or finally know their purpose in life. That's true. But even if none of that happened, they don't show that shock. And it is logical that everyone would have it. If I myself, who was born here and everything revolves around ships, I stare at the ones in the hangar all in awe. I was in the hangar downstairs yesterday, and I was looking at my F-16 parked there with the light behind it, like ghostly. I am not lying. I am getting tears in my eyes from the emotions of seeing all that, of living it. And it's only an F-16 CT. Imagine a ship like an LA Burke, destroyer class, floating in front of you at night full of lights. This gives them all away. Just look at other real incidents of people who have come face to face with one of these craft. Their lives change. Their perspective of what is real and what is not real changes. It shakes your soul. And all these people say nothing but something about silver suits like the aliens from the 50s? Please, where is the passion? Where is that brutal paradigm shift in their lives? Who wants to wear a silver suit anyway? People have no idea how things are. But if they would do some research, they would see the true impression and shock it causes to people who have seen a ship, like Collier. Just look at how it shattered his life. That's one among many. What do they think? It's nothing to come face to face with the craft? They are never the same people again, because it moves them and changes the very nature of existence, of what is real, of what is possible.